Imagine having to live in the same room, locked up, for your entire life. And imagine one day being like, huh, I'm gonna just draw on that wall with the marker. And once you've already started, you're like, well, I already ruined the nice clean wall, might as well go fucking crazy with it. That's pretty much what getting tattoos is like. I have accumulated quite a few new tattoos since my last tattoo video, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it here. I rap in it. It's epic. I know. I didn't really go in depth in that video though, because I made it mostly for gags and people absolutely loved it.
I haven't cringed at anything as much as your rap video.
In this video, I want to dive in just a little deeper and elucidate the stories behind the tattoos. So, up first, we actually have a tattoo that has absolutely no story behind it. Then again, try asking any white girl why they got a flower tattoo. I doubt you'll get much out of them. Pumpkin spice latte for Sarah. That's me! This is my biggest piece, and it has flowers, berries, and leaves, you know, the usual shebang. And like I said, doesn't really have much of a story behind it. I just wanted to get it because, you know, the aesthetic, and it also perfectly fills out the space between my other tattoos. It's also the first color tattoo I got, so I was really excited to get it and kind of nervous as well, because I didn't know how it would fit everything else, because everything else is black and white. The tattooing itself on this piece took about 5.5 hours, and is debatably my most painful tattoo yet because of the coloring action. These right here are blueberries, and I wanted them because, well, duh, Finland. And also because in middle school, no one wanted to hang out with me on the weekends. So when my classmates were busy socializing and losing their virginities, I would wander off in the woods, listen to death metal, and pick blueberries. Still a guilty pleasure of mine to this day. This tattoo, like actually most of my tattoos, is made by my friend Nora, and she runs a tattoo shop called Air Tattoo, so I think you should definitely go check her out and tell her I sent you. Next up, we have this text tattoo. It's by another artist called KG, and it says, "I'm not scared of dying, I'm not scared of death, I'll keep a smile till my last breath." And it is actually a lyric from my all-time favorite song, Braille by Ed Harcourt. Also a song I would listen to while picking blueberries. Needless to say, it is a very meaningful tattoo to me, and it stands for my life mentality. The sad part is, when I was healing this tattoo, the ink blew out a little, and you can now barely read it. So I've actually been thinking of covering it up with some black work in the future. We'll see. And next, moving on to my lion cub tattoo. This tattoo was also made by KG, and I actually made a YouTube video of me getting this done, and you can go watch it here if you want to. I don't dislike any of my tattoos, but this is probably my least favorite one. I just think it has that like tacky geometric 2014 aesthetic to it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love geometric tattoos, but like, I think this is just a little tacky. And it's the style that I've completely grown out of, so I don't know. But you know, I took that tattoo for a reason, and I still stand behind that reason to this day. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's a lion cub because I was a lion cub coming out here to Los Angeles, moving away from home for the first time in my life, and just taking the big leap across the great Atlantic. And here we are. Here is my nature tattoo, and I actually don't know who designed the original design because I found it floating around on Pinterest and it had no credits on it. So, you know, whoever made this, I'm sorry and thank you. It has water, pine trees, a mountain, and the sun. And I took this tattoo because I've always felt like a nature kid at heart. I spend a big chunk of my free time exploring nature and hiking and stuff like that, and I've always just felt this very strong connection with the great outdoors. I also really love line work tattoos, and I just feel, I don't know, it just looks attractive and like rustic. I like this one a lot. In 2016, I was at the lowest point in my life so far, and I did not feel great about myself at all, whatsoever. I was working extremely hard just to keep my mind occupied and, you know, to be too busy to be lonely, you know. Then, one day, I had a photo shoot and I had this picture taken of me. And then I was like, I think I got juice. I actually look pretty fucking bomb in that! Woo! And I just wanted to remember that feeling. Like, if I'm ever feeling low or unattractive, I just look at this tattoo and then I remember how great I actually am, and I stop hating on myself. And hate on Valo instead. Valo! You suck. I'm joking, I don't hate you. I love you. Who are you?
Who the fuck are you?
They don't appreciate me in this household. This cross was my first tattoo ever, and I took it on the day I turned 18. I remember. I come from a family of Christian missionaries, and I've always cherished our family values. I wanted a tattoo of a cross to remind me of my family and those important values that have definitely taught me a lot of life lessons. I later on added my paternal grandfather's name to it when I was traveling in Indonesia because he passed away a long time ago, and yeah, I just miss him a lot. Next to it, I have a finished bottle of lakka, which is cloudberry liquor. My maternal grandfather used to drink. And we weren't really close for the first like 6-7 years of my life because we lived abroad. But when we moved to Finland when I was like 6, he wanted to sharpen up, be a good granddad, so he quit drinking. He would always take us fishing every summer, and I remember this one time he brought snacks and he didn't have a water bottle, so he had filled up an empty bottle of lakka, cloudberry liquor, for us to drink out of, filled with water, of course. I didn't realize it then, but I understood later on how kind of symbolic that was in a way. Alcohol turned into water. The pub changed into spending summer days at the lake with your loved ones. Grandpa passed away 5 months ago, and now I'm just left with beautiful memories, love, and stories he would tell me. And a pretty cool tattoo, of course. Ooh. All right. I need a drink. Let's move on to the wrist. My wrist is dedicated to my family. It has a dotwork band of flowers, all my favorite flowers actually. And at the top, I have all my sisters' names, and at the bottom, I have my parents' names. This top one actually wore off a little in the healing process, so I probably will go back in to get it filled in a little. And let me tell you, this bottom one, my mom's name, hurt. I don't know if it's her way of telling me to stop getting tattoos, or just the fact that it's right on top of all those juicy tendons and blood vessels. On my other hand, I have this random little piece of ink, and actually, earlier when I said I don't dislike any of my tattoos, I lied. I dislike this one. I'm probably gonna get it covered up or removed at some point because you can't really tell what it is, and it just looks like a piece of trash on my hand. It's a symbol that I made for a very rare genetical condition I actually have that no one knows about, and I wanted a tattoo of it because I needed to come to terms with it as a teenager and I needed validation. But I don't need that validation anymore, so I'm probably gonna get that removed. Up on my fingers, first we have Fäbodä on my middle finger. That is actually my favorite place in the whole world. It's my hometown beach. And next to it, I have this rectangle, which is actually a blank slate, tabula rasa, which signifies new beginnings and how, like, no matter how hard you mess up, you can always start over and turn a blank slate. This one right here says AGTG, and it stands for All Glory to God, simply because I don't take credit for my achievements. I believe that my talent and my abilities are blessings from God, so all glory to him. And the top one is my childhood home address, PT34. All of my finger tattoos understandably hurt a lot because you don't really have much tissue on your fingers, unless you're morbidly obese, which is peaking in the horizon for me too if I don't stop drinking pumpkin spice lattes. Thank you for powering through this video. I know it was long and serious, but I hope it left you feeling somewhat informed, maybe inspired, most likely bored, but thanks anyway. Also, feel free to subscribe. I always love to see our family grow. And please, leave a comment. I would love to read your tattoo stories. You'll be able to find me on all other social media at Hello I'm Sarah. And I hope you have a bearable rest of the day. Bye.